need to talk to you at the end of your shift. Anything important? The 30-year veteran of the force in Calvin's first hire said honestly concerned. Yeah, my future, he said and laughed. Go save the Braggs from killing themselves, though. We'd all be a better off for it if they weren't around. We'll talk later. If it makes you feel any better, Chief, I'll stop for a coffee first. Give them a few minutes more to resolve the situation, maybe by themselves, she said, heading to her cruiser. Good idea, Bessie, he said, smiling. He took another deep breath and then walked into the lobby of the station house to officially start his day. Hi, Gramps, the newbie said as soon as he walked in the door. Can I see you in my office right now, please? He said very seriously, which was an unusual emotion for her to feel around her grandfather. Sure thing, sir, she said, saluting, and then followed him into his office. Close the door behind you, he said as he sat himself down in a Jefferson-era chair with a desk to match. She did as he asked her and sat down in a far more modern chair facing him. What's up, Gramps? She said while blowing a bubble from the large mouthful of chewing gum she was essentially chomping on. She was nervous, which was to be expected. This was Jessica's first day on the job as a fresh academy recruit. He would be gentle but also firm, as he knew he had to be, especially with her. She was now a cop. He never wanted her to be. Like his good friend the judge, he also had 2 daughters and no male heir to carry on the family lineage. Jessica had fallen in love with his uniform when she was 3 and his job when she was 7. She became obsessed with what he did every day and constantly quizzed him about it, whenever she saw him, which was very frequently. There is nothing like a little girl to melt a grandfather's heart and turn him into putty. Well, she had been doing it since that day she was born, but not now. Not today. Everything would change as soon as he opened up his mouth and spoke to her. He didn't want to be harsh, but he would have to be. He was going to train his beloved granddaughter to be the best cop that she could be in the next 2 months. It would be painful for him right now, but hopefully rewarding for the both of them in the near future. He didn't want to retire and spend his time worrying about Jessica, though he knew he would anyways. He had 2 twin grandsons, both in their early 20s, just like Jessica, but they had no interest in law enforcement or community service. They were into the banking business, just like their dad. 4 generations of bankers. The Winchesters had branches all over the southern states. Jessica, you know how proud I am of you for graduating top of your class at the academy. I know, Gramps, you told me 100 times. Well, today is your first day on the job, and there are a few protocol things you need to take note of. Anything you say, Gramps, she said, blowing another bubble. He had to smile at his granddaughter's exuberance for the job, but he also had to set her straight. I need you to repeat a few things after me, Jessica. Sure, Gramps, whatever you need. Good morning, Sheriff, he said as Jessica turned around as though she thought someone had entered the room and was standing behind her. Jessica, I need you to repeat after me. Good morning, Sheriff. Good morning, Sheriff, Jessica said with raised eyebrows and looking a little confused. Yes, sir, Sheriff. Yes, sir, right away, Sheriff. Can I do anything for you, Sheriff? Is something wrong, Gramps? Are you okay? She said, trying her best to stay in character. Precious, I don't know any other way to say this, but when you walk through those front doors every morning, I am no longer your Gramps, but I am Sheriff Clayton. Do you understand that? He said, looking her straight in the eye. Jessica burst out laughing and then stood up and walked around the desk and bent over and gave him a big hug. I'm so sorry, Sheriff, but Mom...